Okay, welcome back everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dede. It's Monday, and we're just doing some different little segments. We've been requested to do work in the abandoned places, so I did pull out a bunch of collage bits to work in here. So if y'all are not familiar with our abandoned places or our mixed media collage process. It's all the same process. So when you hear me repeating how I do the process, y'all just know it's the same way I do it all the time. So yeah, the app, music, the soundboard app is 99 cents in the iStore, the App Store. I was showing the girls I got a new app with a soundboard, so yeah. So anyway, I'll show you a couple things about this. This is an altered book project. So it's taking a book, in this case Abandoned Places, and altering the pages, with collage and mixed media and paint and yeah. So, oh, you leaving?
We're not on the air, are we?
Yes, we are on the air, and I'm recording. So. See what happens when there's a vacay day. All right. So anyway, they're in different stages of being done. Or if I just find something, I might just stick it in there for later. I don't know. This one is done, and then after I finish them, now I have not varnished all the finished pictures, but eventually I want to varnish all the pages that are done in my altered books. I'm working on two. I'm working on this one and the other one. Forgotten Heritage. So these are the two books that I'm altering, and I tell people if you want to do an altered book project, you really need to find a theme that you like. Not everybody likes abandoned places. Some people think they're creepy, they don't like them. You might like more gardening. You might like a pet, a cat or dog or bird, or, there's all kinds of books out there that are themed, every theme in the world. And I get my books pretty cheap at Books A Million in the clearance section. And so pick a theme that you're going to like, because you're going to be working in this for months, if not years. And yeah, Lindsay, you're going to be working in these books for months or years. And so you want it to be a book that you like. And if y'all are watching this on YouTube, I try to say this every video. This is a live show on Ustream. And it's a live chat, and I'm answering questions, repeating the same thing quite often because people ask, come in and out, and you have a lot of people here, and come in and out and ask some of the same questions. So I answer the questions, if I'm asked. So if you hear me repeating things, don't email me, don't leave me a comment, you repeat yourself. Yeah, we know. Okay, put it on mute or just fast forward. Okay. So anyway, I have different stages. Like this one's just got a little bit of collage on it, and then this has got paint on it. So if you have a shiny book, I could recommend to you to matte medium out the shine. That just kind of makes it, because I'm working with golden matte medium when I'm gluing. So as I'm gluing, it's getting rid of the shine anyway, even though at the end of the day, I will put a shiny varnish on it. But that's not until, whenever. So these are some different pages that are done. This one's done, but this one hasn't been varnished yet. So you can see how this moon that I cut out is shiny, or this planet that I cut out is shiny. So you might have shiny bits and matte bits, but when you varnish it, it will all be cohesive anyway. It just happens that my glue of choice is golden matte medium, so it makes everything matte. And then I just paint in my own little worlds. Yeah, I love this book. And what I've done is I've gone through and on many pages painted out the text. That's another thing too. If you're going to do one of these books, there's the ones that are heavily a lot of imagery in it rather than a lot of text are probably your best, unless you want to use it for a journal or something, and then you white out the text so that you can write in it or something. I'm not doing that with these altered books, so the less text, the better. So here's where I've added some collage down here. I've painted the clouds. I put in my own worlds up here. And but the sky started out as this blue. I just kind of added to it. So you can use the colors and things in the piece to work from. This is just a house from from a calendar, and I think it's going to look nice there. So what I do is if I find something like that, I'll just take my glue stick, and I just use a Yoo-hoo glue stick, and I'll just put enough on it to tack it down and hold it in place until I get to that page. This one's done again, but not yet varnished. So I did all the solar system and the nebulas and all that up in here. Paint, collage, and throwing some stars in, and then did a reflection down here and put a star down here. But this was here. This bit right here was all here. I just painted out the sky. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Things guys, girls don't do. Yeah, let's don't do that, Muse. So I added some wisps coming through here, and these reflections were already on here. They were just white squares, but what I did is I painted in blue and then put my own clouds and little birds in the reflection there. So yeah, again, some of them are in different stages. This is some torn stars from a calendar, and so I just made some mountains out of that. So you can see where we've just continuously change and alter it. This one I did the little stars, little outer space in different areas here. Like this one's kind of spilling out. This one's through the door. That's right there was already, I put the stars in that little mirror or whatever it was. So this one had some text on the side. So I got rid of the text. I got to turn my chair around. I'm not feeling my fan. It's getting a little hot here. So I'm just going to kind of flip through so you can see some of the bits I've done. This chair was here, but this wasn't here. I added this, I painted all this, and I put this little girl in the chair. So they're all at different stages unless I tell you it's done. This one's done. And when I tell you that they're done, there's more than likely a process video on that. So there's a process video on this one. There's not a process video on this one. I got some paint on there I need to paint over. But this is one of my favorite ones. This is all paint right here. That's all paint. I don't think I did any collage on this. It's just paint and color pencil. So if you have any questions, just ask. So I won't show you every page that doesn't have anything done on it. Well, I do have to find a page to do today. This one's done. This was the last one that we did. The last one in the book that there's a video for. So, yeah. I'm kind of liking this one. I might hold that one. I like this one too. This one's kind of cool and creepy cool. I like abandoned places. Just so much you can do with them. Look at this. This has got a big statue face on this architecture. This is in China. See, I haven't whited out the text yet. So that would be a cool one to do. And I just stuck this car in here. This one is almost done. I'd say I need some water features in it. coming out the windows, but I put stars and things in there and did the sky. That one's done. I don't think there's a video on this one though. So, but you just take the buildings like this and you black out, white out, color out, you know, paint out. You alter it. You alter it. So let's see here. Let's kind of do a quicker flip here. There's a lot of pages here aren't done. This one is, I think there's a video on that one. And so you can see, this is just a giant marble out of a book of marbles. Amazon delivered your journal spot. Oh, okay. Good, Connie. Yeah. I know. That's a fun one, isn't it? She's talking about a book we talked about last week. Let's see. So here's some stars that I just tacked down. I like this page too. I really like this. So you can just see in different stages. Like I'll just find something like this building right here. I just kind of tacked it down on top of this until I get to it. And again, you want to pick a book that you're going to love because you're going to be working in it for a long, long time. And if you don't like the book, the theme of the book, then you won't stick with it. There's a video on this one. There's our little guy down there. He was in the page already. He was on the page. Of course, the planet was not there. We put the planet and put the stairs and the door. And see, I've just kind of tacked down some different planet parts. This one, there's a video for this one. So if you're interested in seeing it, we painted in the waves and the stars down here and all that. A marble. Yeah, marbles are fun to use for planets. And of course I love using watches and clocks because I love putting the element of time in my pieces. So you'll probably see a watch or clock probably almost in everything. Not all, everything, but I like them. Let's go back to the flip here. This one, again, I just cut out a circle out of this isn't a marble, this is just a piece of a star system or a nebula, and I just cut a circle out of it to put up here when I get to that page. So I just kind of wanted to review because I haven't done a page in the book for about probably a month or more. So I thought y'all would like to at least have a idea where we're heading. This one, this is one of the first ones I did in this book. I really like this. It's an abandoned building, and there's all these people that were standing here looking down, and I thought they need to be looking down into space. So of course I blacked everything out and then painted in some space, but look how they are looking down into the... I just really like this piece. And then I did the same thing. I put some little space windows there. I love this one too. All the abandoned theater. That would be a good one. Put a creature or an animal or something there. I'm kind of liking that. Well, see, this one's kind of the same thing. I think I'm just going to still stick with that one for now. You like that one button? I love this book. I mean, I love the abandoned places. And they're in just different stages. This one, there's a video. This one's done. There's a video on this one. It's a train station. And we painted in a little world back there. I have a lot of the same motifs, but that's what I like. Okay, it got bright again. I might have to either prop this up or turn the blinds again. This one's kind of in process. If you have any questions, put them in caps, and we're going to get crack-a-lacking now and start doing something with this. Might just prop that up on that book. Oh, nope, I'm going to have to... Okay, I got to climb back up here and close my blinds again. Hang on, guys, because it got too bright. It'll flash out while I'm working. Okay, so I think this is the one we're going to work on. You painted your first page and it buckled. What kind of book did you... Was it a book? I mean, like a book or a magazine? I don't know what you use, so I can't say why yours buckled. I don't have any problem by the time, I mean, I can see a little bit of buckling on some of the backs, but it's not terrible. I could just say watch my process and see what you did differently, because I don't know why it would buckle. Now I lost my page. Where was it? Unless the pages are super, super, super thin. But these are just your normal book pages. It's not over thick or over thin. Yeah. So we're going to do this. All right. So I've picked out some different things. I've got some watches. I've got some wildlife. I've got, let me see. Let me look through here and see if I want a deer or, yeah, I don't know. It depends on how much, you know, let me say this. I can say this for a fact. When I'm putting paint, acrylic paint, I use Americana craft paint, just, you know, inexpensive craft paint. No water. No water in my paint. That may be the thing. Oh, I like that big owl. It might be too big. So let's see. I'm just looking through some animals right now. I kind of like that owl. I might use this owl head, or just the eyes. Let's see. And of course I'm going to need some watch parts. And I have my Luna calendar. My Luna calendar from Abby girl, who she's not here right now. So let's see. I'm just flipping through some calendars and some pages. Do I want, this has got a cool looking little waterfall on here. Let's use some of that if I can get rid of the blue. I love this. But, you know, I'd have to get rid of this here, which that's no big deal. But I'm thinking, and I don't like to go over a page. I'd rather cut the page, like instead of like, you know, just gluing one page across the ditch, because that will wear out. I'd rather do it like this and like this if I was going to use two pages, but I'm just thinking I just want this. So, but I don't want this blue. I almost want that green. So let me do a couple things here. Let me find my little scissors here. I think what I want to do is cut this off. And this is all just free flowing process, guys. It's just like, there's not a formula for this. So just saying. Just saying. I just go with what I can imagine while I'm working in it. So I kind of just, first off, take some time to lay things out. I'm going to paint this black. This is going to be, it's not going to be green. It's going to be black. I wanted to use this owl, but I don't know if I can use it in this one. Let's see how big it is. It may not work on this page. It might have to be one or the other. kind of liking it. I see, I don't want to lose this. I want to keep this part here, so I can't do both on this side. But I really like the owl. I'm really liking the owl. Just fits right there. And I could even do it like behind. So let's see. If he's peeking over the balcony, so we can even cut him right there. Ooh, owl. Yes, Terry. So he's like right over the balcony, see? Try to keep as many of the book elements as I can. But this isn't going to work for me. I mean, I could trim this down, but I don't know if I want that here now. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see here. Do I want that here? Kind of like it. But kind of bothering me. I'll hold off on that because I think I'm going to go with the owl and the moon. And this is going to be black back there. All right, let's see what else we got going here. Maybe some mountains. I don't know because I'm going to do something down here because I'm going to have space up there. Let's see if this will work. I'm just going to cut some mountains out. I hope can y'all hear me okay? I'm kind of talking kind of low because I'm in the zone here. I'm in the the thinking it out zone. Yeah, peeking over the balcony. All right, so, and I'll keep that bit of moon there. Another page. So, right about there. I'm thinking. Don't know if I want this mountain though, because it's kind of distracting me from the balcony. That's better. Kind of liking that. But I don't want to go over the ditch. So what I'll do here is I'll just crease it there and pull it apart so that if I want this, it'll go on. I won't glue it. I won't glue over the ditch. See? But I'll carry that out with paint. Like I won't just have it in there. I'll paint it out, paint more. So I think I'm going to go with that. And I still need something watch part. Thanks. Yeah, I am having fun. Alright, I got me some fractals, but I don't know if we need any fractals on this one unless I have it in the right color. I love fractals. But, see what I'm talking about, fractals? Like this kind of thing. But these are very, very bright. Ooh, now I kind of like that. Kind of liking those colors. Let me look at the mountains. See how it's kind of tying in the yellow bits with the blue? See all the yellow? And then some of the blue. I think some of these fractals might work. I'll tear it out just in case, but kind of busy. We'll see. Alright, so now let me see about some watch bits. I need a couple. I'm thinking in some of these right here, like maybe three half watches. Here's one that's got blue in it. So let's cut this out. It's got like a little hexagon shape to it, so that hexagon shape, I like that. Can't wait to get your books. That can go right there, I think. And this. See, I'm kind of trying to go like, kind of give the triangle composition thing going here. I think I'm going to start painting now. And we'll see what we need, because we can do a lot of stuff with paint. Don't know how much more, because this is all going to be painted right here. What book is this, Connie? This book is the Abandoned Places. Yeah, if you're just getting here. Yeah. Let's see, what else do I need? I would kind of like to have a fish, but I'd have to go dig for that. I don't want to go dig. What else do I have sitting here? Yeah, I don't have anything else sitting here. Fish. All right, I think I'm going to go roll with this. We're going to start with this. Bye, Linda. Okay, so now I'm going to get some wax paper. To put behind the pages, because you don't want to glue your pages together. So I'm going to put some wax paper behind these. Hope I'm in camera. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to get out some, y'all know I use coffee lids for palettes. So I'm going to start with getting out my matte medium. And I use golden matte medium. Oops, I don't want to mess up that commission portrait over there. Golden, and it's just matte medium. It's not gel medium. There's gel medium and there's matte medium. Okay, this is just matte medium. And I put a baggie over the lid so that I can just take the top right off. And it doesn't glue the top to it. Although sometimes the baggie sticks, but that's no big deal. You're not gluing it shut, right? So I'm going to pour some out here. And then, of course, I'm going to put, I'm just going to kind of throw the baggie back on for a minute because I might need some more. So let me just kind of set that aside for a minute. My glue brushes are the only brushes that I keep in water. Let me get one here. This one looks good. Oh, ran into my chair. And I'm going to need some baby wipes. And I just use Huggies. And the reason I'm going through all the supplies, because everybody always asks. After the show, they'll go, well, what baby wipes did you use? Now, I do have a show. I do have a video in my playlist on what supplies I use. So, and I list everything I use in my color books, in my collage. So if you want to see all the supplies I use, go to my playlist and look for art supplies I use or color book and collage supplies I use, and you can find them all. So anyway, I use Huggies Natural. That means there's no soap, there's no aloe, there's no mushy soap to them. And I can go through, if I do collage like all week, I could go through a whole box in a week. Because I really do use a lot of those. All right, so I'm going to set that aside for a minute. Got my, all right, so let me go ahead and just first, oh, and a card just mash down. So any kind of a card to mash everything down. I'm going to probably pull my sleeves up here because I don't want to get paint on this shirt. I should have changed shirts. So again, if you have any questions, just put them in caps. Hey, Prisma, good to see you. Where's, what wipes? Pooh white box. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. This one has Winnie the Pooh on it. What I usually do is I buy the refills. I don't buy another box. I just buy the packs that are in the plastic to refill the box. Okay, so I'm gonna, and I do quite slather. I put a lot of matte medium, and I put it on the book. I put it on the back. And I put it over the top. You wouldn't think that you'd need that in 3 layers, but you really do if you want to get the wrinkles out. Then I'll take my card here and just kind of mash it down. Now, if you're using some calendar and magazine pages, when you do this step, Be careful not to scrape your ink off, because some magazines and calendar pages are cheap paper, cheap ink. I mean, it's going to come, you can actually scrape the ink off. So you want to kind of be careful. Now I got enough right there that I can scrape that down and put that right here. Put it right there. And over the top, and then scrape that down. Just kind of mash it out. All right, let's put this little moon. I'm almost tempted to paint this black first before I put the moon on, because it's going to be solid black. I'll just paint around it. It's sometimes easier just to put the put some elements down after you paint, sometimes before. It doesn't really matter, it's just what's easiest. So I'm actually putting the moon right over the text square right there. And I'm constantly wiping my hands. This stuff is hard to get off your golden matte medium, or I guess probably any matte medium. It's really hard to get off your hands if you don't have a craft scrubby. I have a craft scrubby, but okay, so again, I've got wax paper here so that I don't accidentally glue my pages together. Putting some on the back here. And right where I want it. Over the top. Take the card and smooth it out. And this helps it seal too. I mean, it helps the edges, get all your edges sealed. Are we good? Is anybody doing anything fun over the holiday? So I'm going to leave just a little bit of space there, and I'll paint that in. I'll paint that crack in, but I don't want to like overlap the pages across the ditch, because it will eventually tear there. Where paint, you know, you're going to be less likely to have the paint crack than you would the image tearing. And I'm going to paint in there, but it is still a little lump there, so you got to kind of work it down. Might take a minute. Spread already. Oh, thanks, Prism. You know, I never know where it's going. I don't plan these out. And if y'all have seen me, seen my art cards, they're all the same process as this. I just did some collage cards for Janet, Janet, Monkey Island Madness, who's now back. She was out of town for a month of Sundays, by no fault of her own, but she's back now. So anyway, she did a ATC swap, artist trading card swap, and I did the same process. My collage cards, my 3x4 cards, my 4x6 cards, my ATCs, which are 2.5 by 3.5. I do all the same process as that I'm doing here. It's all the same. Collage has been around for a long time. Mixed media has been around for a long time. Altered books have been around for a long time. I just combine them all. Just do all of them in one book. So now I also do mixed media collage, just starting from scratch. Like I have a whole book on that. Let's see here. This is one of the Delusions books. The Delusions craft color journals, and as you can see, I've collaged and varnished the cover. These I start with a blank page. So again, there's videos for all these. Let me see if I can just flip to the ones that are. So I might start with something like this. So here's just some things I've started gluing down. So I have to start with, I can't hold it up in the air. I'm going to try to flip to some of the done pages. So the only difference from these is that I'm starting with a blank page and have to add everything. That's why I recommend, if you want to do this kind of collage mixed media, get you a book to start with so you're not starting with the blank page. So what you're doing is reverse collage. You're getting rid of stuff you don't want, at the same time adding things you do want. Oh, okay, Julie. Off today, tomorrow, and working on your room. Oh, good. I'm glad you're working. I mean, I love it when people say they're working on their rooms. There's a video on this one. And again, we started these with blank page. Okay, let's see what else. And see, there's just different bits. This is like, you know, just, I might have just the randomest thing glued, you know, stuck in there. Like, see? All right, so this one took quite a while. This was, I think this was probably a two-parter when I did this one. There's a lot of detail in this. Again, starting from scratch. And that intimidates a lot of people if they've never done collage before. So that's why I tell you to get a book to alter so that you don't start with the blank page. So okay. So now let's see. What else do I want to do? I think I want to start painting now. But in the meantime, while I'm painting, I'm going to put my glue brush back in the water because this will harden up in like 5 minutes or less, and then that's done. Yeah, you've got something to work with if you start with an altered book. Or, you know, our magazine, don't forget about our mini magazine playgrounds. Our little books where we've taken magazines, cut them in half, and glued. This one's got 2 full magazines, but, you know, 4 parts glued together. And, you know, there's videos on this too, taking magazines and working with that. You know, working with your magazine imagery. If you're intimidated by a book, then play in a magazine. That's why I call these a playground, because you just play in it. Let's see if I got another page here that's done. I put these paper clips here on pages that we're pretty much got a lot done on anyway, whether they're finished or not. So you can see at a glance here. But it's all kind of the same process. And you don't even have to cut a magazine. I've got like 4 of these that are not cut up. They're just full-on magazines that I've glued 2 or 3 together and done the same process. It's just in a different size. All right, so let's go back to this. Now I got to get out some paint. Oh, wait, let me put did I put my brush back in the water? I think I did. I don't see it sitting there. Okay, so now I'm going to get out some paint. So let me just set this aside for a minute and get a different palette or 2 and see what color of paint I want. Let's see. I always use black and white, and I'll probably need some blues because I'm going with that water. So let me get a couple of blues out. This one maybe, a dark one. And probably, see, I love the same colors. It always seems I gravitate toward them because I love the same colors. A sienna, an ochre, or maybe lime green because his eyes are green. Maybe the owl's eyes are green. So, and a sienna. Let's see. Okay. All right, so I picked some colors, and again, I know I gravitate toward the same colors. Well, I should stop throwing away magazines. Is that good? Oh, okay, good, Connie. Dede, your collage is so inspiring. Thank you, Judy. Okay, so the colors that I pulled here, and again, this one's a Craft Smart, but pretty much I use Americana, which they put their logo deco art above their Americana. They used to look like, do I have an older one here? Yeah, this is what they used to look like. And now they put their big logo deco art above there. But here's the thing, no one's sponsoring me. Americana's not sponsoring me. I just love Americana. They're plain. They don't say anything on them. They don't say matte, but they don't say shiny or gloss. You can use shiny or gloss acrylic paints if you want, but you cannot pencil over them. So if you want to add any color pencil details, Do not get shiny, or well, it's called satin. Do not get satin or gloss. And it'll say satin or gloss on there. So don't use those because you can't color pencil over them. Okay, so I'm going to go with Moon Yellow, Black and White. And then this is the only Craft Smart one that I pulled here, and it's navy blue. And then in Americana, I got uniform blue. So there's a couple shades of blue here because of the water down here, which I'm going to scrape with a plastic palette knife. Then I have some traditional burnt sienna and citron green. So I got these colors. His eyes, it's hard to see, but they're green. So I'm going to go with that. So I think I'm going to start first down here. And I got wax paper between the pages. I'm going to pull up my sleeves here, and I'm going to put out some of the, and always shake your paints too, because the oils can separate if you haven't used them in a while. You want to make sure and shake them well, or you're just going to squeeze out a blob of oil. So there's some of the Craft Smart navy blue. And then this one is the uniform blue in Americana. And then I'm going to get out some white. This white hasn't been opened yet. I should have just get one that's open, but let me just open this one. I just take my X-Acto blade and just slice the plastic, and then you can just peel it right off. Okay, shake it up well. And some white. So that's what I'm going to start with right now. And this is, I can always say that I always put out more paint than needed for the most part, but that's why you need a playground, like our magazine playground, or I call them desk journals too. Just some kind of a journal that you can like use up whatever paint. So like, let me just find a page here that might need some blue, so you can kind of work on two things at once. Just find a place where I might want some blue paint, or just a blank page that you want to cover completely. Just a page. Find somewhere, like here. I just found this page here. Find somewhere where you can scrape your excess paint up into something that you're not wasting it. Okay, so now I want to continue these mountains over here, and I'll probably use some of this in other areas too. But I'm going to just pick up some of the blue and the white. Whichever blue and white. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scrape it like, it almost like marbleizes. See how it kind of just, and I'm barely touching. I'm just barely touching. Get a little more blue. I'm just kind of like floating it across. Can y'all see that? This works for stuff like mountains, kind of like Bob Ross does when he does his mountains. But you can also do water with it. And flow up water, flow water. So there's some there. And then I'll just get a paintbrush to get in the crack there, in the crevice. And I'll just get a little blue and a little white, just kind of dabble it in there. Just so it kind of covers up the center there. Maybe a little darker blue in there too. So that when it crosses over the center of the book, like that. Maybe go a little further up this way. And then I'll go back to scraping. Okay, go back to scraping some on there. More blue. And then as it dries, you might think, oh, it needs more blue or needs more whatever. Then go back over it when it's dry. But I'm just skimming it. That's the word I want to use. I'm skimming the paper. So it kind of keeps that marbleizing look, like that. So something like that. Okay. The other tool I would recommend you have, other than baby wipes, is a heat gun. I cannot live without a heat gun. Now my heat gun's like 25 years old. But if it ever, quit, I would be looking for the quickest coupon to get to Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I have to have a heat gun. I probably use my heat gun as much as I do my colored pencils. And that's a lot. I can't sit here and wait, 2 hours for that to dry. Now, a hair dryer, you can speed it up some with a hair dryer, but a heat gun, you just do it like immediately. And these are craft heat guns. I know there's professional heat guns that melt paint and stuff like that, or this isn't made for crafting. So yeah. But there was no water in that paint, and there's no buckling on my page. And the paint is kind of thick because I scraped it on with a palette knife. And you always want to make sure your page is 100% dry before you close your book, because you'll glue your pages together, All right, so now I want that. And I'll probably have maybe some water splashing at the bottom or something. But what I wanted to show you is, so I am still going to use some of this paint, but I just want to show you. Let's just say you are done with this. Then pick it up with your palette knife or a brush, and then come over to your magazine journal or your desk journal and just use up the excess. Whatever you got left on your brush or your palette knife, or either one. And then just come over here and use it up over here. So you're not wasting anything. That's why I call this a playground, because you don't want this, don't be so precious about these things, because you won't ever do anything if you're too afraid. Okay, so that's just to show you. You can continue on. You can do some more of the, like that. This bird could be, this little bird could be in a winter storm. But just so you can see, then you can take and you can make, trees and branches and whatnot coming up out of it. So I'm not going to stop and work on this page, but you get the idea. So let me move that out of the way. Bye, Jen. Thanks for stopping in. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and do this up here. Get some black, and I think this is clogged up, so let me just take the lid off and pour out a little black. I've got a new black over there, but and a little paintbrush. And I also like to paint with my fingers. If y'all have watched me do this before, I'll just pick up the paint on my finger and start smearing it in, because you can get some nice cool blends with your finger that it's hard to get that randomness with the brush. But then sometimes, like I need to go around the moon here, I'm going to go ahead and go with a brush. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this. I'll do this on purpose. I'm going to go like way on the moon, and I didn't want that there. But the thing about the golden matte medium is it's put a barrier on your image. Whoops, let's put that in the trash. It's put a barrier now. So now, because it's got the matte medium, I can wipe it away. See how I can wipe it away? You can't do that unless you have the matte medium. So you can wipe away whatever you don't want. Okay? So that's another benefit of the matte medium. So if you have any questions, it's all the same process that I always do. The same products, the same process. I think I'm going to get rid of that light bit right there. I'm just going to paint that over that arch right there. I need a sip of coffee. Can't check packing. Oh, are you heading home already, Jean? It seemed like you just got there. Jean went home to visit her family for Canada Day. For Canada Day. And I guess she's leaving already. You leaving today, Jean? Yes, it's the magic of the golden matte medium. And I'm getting rid of this green. I'm going to put stars and planets and nebulas and stuff up in here, because I love that too. I love my time and space. motifs, if you will, in my collage. Okay, and I got a little bit on the here. Just wipe it away, or blend it, whichever you want to do. You gotta blend or wipe. And let's keep the I want to keep the wax paper there so I don't glue the pages together. I'm trying to see what Jean said. Bye, Melody. Sleep well. Sleep well. If y'all want to talk to me or ask me anything, guys, especially if you're new and you don't know, put it in caps, because the chat, you know, a lot of times is scrolling by real quick and I don't see it. And then I'll probably play with some color pencil along that edge there. Now I'm thinking I'm going to look in here and see if I want to black any of this out. And I'm just happen to be using black, but any color that you want to like alter your book with. I almost want to put a little window right here and space right in there. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go in here and paint a little square, one of these little balconies that have been starting to fall apart. I'm going to put a little world in there. Now it went down a little too far here. I want to that. I got my watch part here, and I think I'm going to, I'll do that with sienna. Some of this other bit I want to do with sienna too. Okay, I think I'm going to leave the rest, no more black there. I'm going to get a different palette because this is full of blue and black. And I want to get some yellows and some ochre and sienna. So I'm going to put out a little, and again, that's crusted over. There we go. And maybe a little bit of green because of his eyes. I want to tie that green in a little bit somewhere. Balcony boxes look like screens. Yeah. Well, this one's just going to be another little world there. But yeah, you could put little things on every one of those if you want. I don't have the time to do that, but you know. All right. So now let me see what I want to do. Do I want a little darker? Okay, so you can see some of that sienna color right there. It kind of ends. I think I'm going to carry that over. I'm going to make it a little less demolished, a little less abandoned. I'm going to carry some of this color just because I want it a little bit more cohesive coming across here. You can do anything you want. It's your world. It's your world. You know, paint in anything you want, or paint out anything you want. And take your time. You know, like I always tell you guys, I'm kind of rushed when I'm doing these shows because, you know, I'm trying to get a whole show in a couple hours. But when you're doing this at home, you don't have to rush. So I'm going to kind of go over these pillars. And you can still see through because I have the paints thin right here with the brush. It's thin, so I can still see through the imagery a little bit. Some of the details are still coming through the paint. And you can do some more complex than others. All your pages don't have to be really complex. Yes, I'm restoring. That's right, I'm doing restoration. And I think I'm going to just see, where's my green? I might just see about putting a green wash and a little, maybe even a little touch more in the eyes, just to see what will happen here. I'm going to put like a lime green highlight. And there's also not a white highlight in the eyes. I'm going to put that in too. So I'm just going to highlight, like brighten up the eyes just a little. Now this is kind of a blue color, and I'm going to put it like almost like a wash of lime green right over the top, very thin, lime green, red. There's a couple colors that are very translucent. And so, because I'm putting it on real thin, you're still going to see through it. So you start learning what colors are thicker and thinner and more translucent just by using them. And it's very subtle. It's just putting a little bit of a green over the blue. And the blues that are going to tie it together are the moon and the water and the mountains. Restoration area, yeah. And I just play till I'm happy with it. And there's some I'm happier with than others. But, you know, hey, it's fun. It's creative. And it makes your imagination work. Alright, same thing for this. I'm going to come down here. This is some of the same type of wood. I'm just going to go over it with a nice thin wash. Of the green. You could put some trees down here. You could do anything. Anything. It's your world. Can you use the drum roll on my new app? Drum roll? Yes, I can use the drum roll. Hang on. They're talking about my soundboard app that I just got. Let's see, where's the drum roll? Now there's 3 pages. Let me look real quick. Ah, here it is. I'll do it again for you. But of course our favorite is our Terry Trouble sound. Don't get me giggling. I was laughing so hard earlier this morning that my eyes were watering. Oh my gosh, it was too funny. So, I think I'll go right over to that too. And yeah, we can put some clouds, we can put mist, we can put water, we can put waves, we can do anything we want. All right, so there's part of that balcony there. And see, I can still see stairs through here and other things going on. Now, the only thing I want to do here, though, is make my watch kind of part like almost like wood, like coming around like an arch rather than a metal watch around the edges there. I need a little bit of black. That'll darken it a little. I need, or get some dark brown out. Let's just want to go over that. Make it more an arch. Maybe black behind it in this case. So I'm going to stand out. Terry. So anyway, y'all really should try this sometime. You know, at least in a magazine, just to see if you like it. If you like altering things, at least get a magazine and test it out. And then if you like doing it, then buy you a book to alter. But again, get a book that you like, because it's a lot of work to do a whole book. And you just got to kind of commit to the long term and just do one here and there. But, you know, if you don't like abandoned places, or if you don't like gardens, or if you don't like whatever, you're not gonna stick with it. You won't stick with it. Did you put that wash on to match that? Yes, I did. Judy, I put the green on to match the owl eyes. Exactly. Okay. And I think I want this to be darker here. That little half shade thing. It's too light. It needs more dark over here. And then go across here. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a arch thing over here too. Just to add a little dark element on that side. And then some of this, if it's too white or you don't like some of the areas, just, you know, get in there with your colors and kind of just white it, or, you know, reverse collage, reverse paint it out so that it's not distracting to you. Like, I just want that one window, I don't want this one. So you can still see through it, but it's not bright right there. Okay. All right, so on the owl's eyes, I think that's dry now. So I'm going to take a white pencil and I'm going to put a little bit more highlight. And now remember, the reason I can do this is because it's not shiny. You can't really do this unless you've gone over it with matte medium, which makes it matte, or painted it with acrylic paint. Your pencil's not going to go on shiny bits. Like this is shiny right here. My pencil's not going to work. I mean, I could really dig in and make it, you know, something on there, but you're not going to be able to do like color pencil blend like on the shiny bits. Then I want a Posca, let's see, or a gel pen. Let's see. All right, to put a highlight in his eye, because there's not one there, and I want one. A book you like. You girls, such cougars. All right, so now I think what I want to do is I'm going to splatter some stars. Oh, let me go back down here. I think I want a little bit of waves. It's got, you can see the mountains through there, but I think I want to almost make this watery here. So let me go back to my blues and whites. Let's see here. Let's pull the wax paper back down here. And I think I want to, let's see, more white. I want to swoosh up some waves. Yes. Don't know how far I want it to go. I might have to do that with a brush. Let's see, because I want it to feather on up into. It might be a little too much wave action. Let's just take that off because we can. All right. All right, let's do a little less. Let's just do it, you know, just shorter little waves here. Because I'm going to put some, I'll probably put some fog or mist coming across here too, because I like that look in the abandoned places. So maybe there. Maybe let's go a little bit right in here. You can do this with a brush or with, I just like a palette knife because it's much more random when you use a palette knife. Just like that. I'm just going to go with that. Maybe a little bit more there. I don't usually like things very symmetrical like this right here and this right here, but this is almost kind of like calls for it because it's got the balcony like that. Okay, now let's see here. Let's go ahead and get some, put some white paint out. All right, now this is where I do water down paint. This is the place where I do water something down, is I'll put some white paint and then I'll water it down to splatter stars. So it's real inky and wet, okay? And that's so that I can splatter stars. Now again, you want to be careful here. I got my lappy is right there, so yeah, be careful. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of get started there and then just kind of splatter. And if you get some, like I got a few on the owl there, and I don't want them on the owl, well, while it's wet here, let me just kind of wipe them away like that. And the more you tap, the smaller and smaller the little dots will get. So there we go. Now, down here, I want some splash, not for stars in this case, but for water splashing. So I'm going to go ahead and put some down here. And these little splats will take a minute more to dry, because they're really, you know, you just need to make sure they're dry. All right, so now that's all on there. I got a little bit right here. Let me get a clean baby wipe. Thanks, guys. Like the water? Okay. And I want to get rid of some of those dots that kind of got up there. Okay, now let's take the heat gun and dry all this. Heat gun. And then I'm going to do a little bit of color pencil, and then we'll do some mist or fog, and then we'll call this one done. And we can do waterfalls. Maybe I'll do a couple just to show you. I love putting waterfalls in. I do that. I do a lot of the same motifs, but it's what I like. But I'm showing you the process so you can do whatever you want. Okay, so I think I'll do a couple of waterfalls, and I think I'll have mist coming in and out of these pillars. All right, so I'll just do a little bit of water because I don't want to distract. I don't want to distract from the mist flowing through. All right, so now I'm going to go back with, let me get a dry brush and the thick white paint, not the watered down kind. And I think I'll have, let's look in here a minute. Maybe we'll have some coming from here and here, here. And maybe this is where it's kind of splashing up right in there. Yeah, I know. I love my certain motifs. So if we just have like one waterfall, and then I'll have the mist coming in and out of the thanks, Kimberly. Okay, I might need a couple, just a little couple splashes kind of showing a little better here. Let's just put a couple little extra splash here and maybe a couple extra here. cross over that one. Something like that. And then, now I'm going to take a baby wipe. And this is how I do mist, fog, and that kind of thing. Is I'll take the baby wipe and I'll get me a blob of, but I put it in my hand and thin it out. It kind of mashes it into the baby wipe. And now I'm going to have to decide where I want this to go. Okay, so I think I'm going to have it kind of whoosh down here. I'll have it come across the, no, I don't want it coming across, so it's going to be too distracting. Let's go behind it. And then we'll whoosh through here over those pillars. A little bit more. And behind there. Behind this pillar. Over that one. I'm kind of wanting to kind of come behind and in front of. In there, out there. But I don't want it to distract from my, maybe I won't go over there. Because I don't want to distract from my waterfall. Alright, let's see. Let's see here. I'm overthinking it. Not liking it. It's too perfect. Don't want it too perfect. Let's see. Let me think it again. That's better. So with the baby wipe, you can manipulate the paint. Something like that. Now I want to do my watch hands next. You'll know I always accent my watch hands. Let me just leave that for a minute and work on the nebula. Okay, let me dry this. And if the watch hands are that if you cut out a watch and they're going in ways you don't necessarily want them to do, then I just paint them out. So I'll paint out the watch hands and then I'll put them, now I do know I want that one, but I want this one going that way, and that's not the way it is in the watch. So I'll paint that out and then I can make the time any way I want. Alright, so now let me dry that. And now let me get my Posca. Well, let me do some stars first, then I'll do the watch hands, because the watch hands are going to come across, and that's going to, let me do this first. Okay, so let me get some yellow ochre, a little bit of light blue, and probably a sienna. Okay, we're going to go with these colors and white. Where's my white here? Okay, we'll probably have one shooting star. I like to always have like one shooting star. Where's my Posca? Go with one shooting star here. Oh wait, let's don't do the shooting star yet, because I'm not sure where my watch hand is going to cut across. I might not need a shooting star. So let's just do a few little random planets. In blue, sienna, and orange. So anybody got any questions or anything? We all good? Kind of quiet because I'm kind of concentrating, but you know, sometimes that kind of goes with the territory. Alright, so now I'm going to go around the moon here. Give it a little glow. And I can do this because I'm on acrylic paint or matte mediumed out so that you have a texture. You can't do this on shiny magazine paper. or book paper. It has to be, you have to have it either matte medium or acrylic paint to get the pencil to work on it. Yes, we call it nebulization. That's right. That's what we call it here, nebulization. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the white first. And I'll put a little blue in there. And you can do this as much or as little as you want. Darker, lighter. You know. I mean, it's your nebulization. You can do it whatever you want. Alright, now I do want to go around this arch here with some of this yellow, because it's kind of got a weird edge, because I made that arch there, it wasn't there. So let's fix that up a little. And maybe a little bit more yellow over here. Just a couple, you know, kind of space it out. Sienna one around there. You could do Saturn with rings. You can do whatever. Alright, so I just got a few little planets going, and now I like to take like the side of the pencil and just kind of see how that kind of works. Like all kinds of space debris and nebulization. And then maybe a little bit of yellow. Just to kind of mix it up so it doesn't look flat. Some of the sienna here. And no pressure. Very little, no pressure. I'm the boss of my nebulization. Yes, Cheshire. You're the boss of your nebulization. I love it. Oh my God. And don't forget, guys, Janet, I think, is, as far as I know, she's going to stream later this afternoon. I'm not sure what time. She had some errands to run, and we're just so happy to have her back. Okay, that's too much white there, so let me go back in here with some black paint. I just got too much white there. I don't want that white next to the, there we go, next to the white of the owl. All right, that's probably enough. All right, so let me just, and again, all this excess paint, it needs to go in your magazine journal when you're done. All right, so let's dry this all up, make sure everything's, oh, I did want some stars and some nebulization in this little spot here. So instead of splattering, I'll just take my Posca and just put a few in here. Just different size, you know, a couple of little stars in here. And then the same thing with the color pencil. Gotta dry that though first. And then go in there with maybe a little bit of blue. Just a little something, something in there. Just so you can tell that there's space in that little hole right there. You know? Something like that. Okay, now, my watch hands. This is going to be a long line. This one, I don't really need a ruler, but I'm just going to show you with the ruler, so you don't be afraid to use a ruler. Don't be fearing the ruler. But if you're going to do this, I would recommend having a metal ruler with a cork on the back, so that when you take a paint pen and you draw a line, if this didn't have the cork under it and I drew a line, you're probably going to get the paint go underneath the ruler. So the cork keeps the ruler off the page. So I want this hand to come up through here. You know what? I think I almost want it to come through his eye. I think I do. Gosh, it's so straight on. Dang, I wish it wasn't straight. If this was right over here, I could have it come through his eye, but that's too straight. I don't like the idea of that straightness, so I can't really have it come through his eye. But I want this hand to go across 2 pages and behind and through the moon. So, let's see here. It'll probably take a couple trips across the page. So I want it to come across the page here, through that, and into the moon, and then back behind the moon, like that. You can't see it very well now. I'm going to go back over it, but I got it, just found my place. Yeah, I'd love for that to go through his eye. I'll go to the edge of the eye. I'll go to the edge of the eye and put a shiny star. That's what I'll do. So we'll just do that. So that, and I know you can't always see this now. I'm going to go over it. But I think we'll put a glint in his eye, a gleam, right kind of where it crosses over. You'll see it when I get close up. All right, now I'm going to take out the wax paper now because I think I'm done, and I'm going to have to turn the book so I can get my line, because now I'm just going to freehand this in. I want it thicker. And I'll put a shadow and everything. Just get it thicker here. I'm going to have to do it a 3rd time. We'll see. It's going to have a little middle there. Now let's go this one. I just want it a little thicker. So I hope y'all enjoyed this process today. Again, don't forget, and I'm going to upload the little video that I made for Sketchbook Summer if you're interested in filling a sketchbook throughout July. It's a big project, no doubt. I think I'll put another little thing here. No, you know what? I think I'll just put a little. I'll put it on this side where it's peeking through, or coming out the other side. Sketchbook Summer, hashtag Sketchbook Summer. Brandon, I forget their names, guys, but you can look them up, and I'll put a link in the video that has the sketchbook information in there. So you fill a sketchbook in July. I'm using a mixed media one because the pages are a little thicker than a sketchbook. Thanks, Corrine. Sarah, I showed the big ledger. Did you see what I'm going to do with my big ledger? I'm going to use it for my oversized color book pages and to catalog my color books and art books. All right, so there's that now. I just need a little, probably, let me dry that first. I don't want to smear it. Here comes the sun, of course. I need a little bit of a dark blue gray. Let's see, this probably will do. This is just 70% warm gray. I just need a shadow. Let me sharpen it. Where's my sharpen? So as soon as I finish this, guys, I'll show you again my sketchbook that I'm working in. It's very subtle and it probably isn't showing up. I'll take a picture of it and post this on Instagram and Twitter. I want to make that kind of look like it's going in. So it needs a little shadow there. Okay. Now let's do this one. Trying to keep it pretty subtle. Could almost do light blue right there instead of gray. Let's see, where's my light blue? Oh, that's better. Going across the owl. And then a little bit of shadow on the star itself. Something like that. All right, let me go back over this one with the blue. Sorry guys, it's really flashing out. The sun just like is beating down in here now. I had the light adjusted for shadowy day, overcast day, and then it got sunny. But I don't like to keep the auto light on or the auto adjust, because then it's flashing in and out, in and out. I don't like that. It makes me dizzy just to see it on someone's video. So I try not to have it on mine. All right, so there we go. Now, see what else do I need. Thanks, guys. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I need. I've got to make space is what I need. All right, I'm not using any more matte medium, so let me put the lid back on that. And let's adjust the lighting a little bit. It's okay, it's not flashing out right this second. I got it kind of propped up. Okay. So, let's see if there's anything else I want on here. I think it needs a little bit more cleaning a brush here. It needs a little bit more bright splash right here. This just needs a little bit more splash. Okay, so anyway, guys, I think we'll call this done. I'm sure there's some other little bits we could add to it. Maybe just the tiniest bit more. Where's my baby wipe here? Let's just get the tiniest bit more. I'm trying to have it kind of wave out of the center of the watch there. The mist, you know. Cataloging color books does I don't know, Terry. I hadn't got that far yet, but I don't want just my, I won't catalog just my color books. I'll catalog my art books too. So, okay, I think we're going to go ahead and call this one done. So, yeah, here we go. Let's hold it up. So there's the color right there without it being flashed out. Just kind of go across there. Needs a little dark behind there. It just needs a little bit contrast right in there, I think. Whoops. Needs a little bit more contrast where the water is kind of behind there. Okay, so there is our, whoops, there goes the light. I mean, it just, the sun just comes right in here. But I don't know what I'll name it yet. You might need a bigger book. No, it's got like 80 pages in it, Terry. That ledger book, I think it's got like 80 pages. So it's really good. Now, again, I'm not gluing in the color book pages. I'm just setting them in like a portfolio. They're kind of just sitting in there. Okay, so let me go ahead and again, I'm not going to close it. I want to show you, though, that's in Abandoned Places. That's the book that we're altering. And there's many of these pages that are done, videos are done. So let me just set this aside. And again, real quick, I'll just take, let me just show you with, let's just take some of this sienna, and let me get a thin brush. And just do some random, like maybe some random branches here. I'm going to use some of that black too. Where's my blacks? I got lots of color left here, or the dark blue. Let's go with the dark blue and the sienna and do some like, so he'll be sitting on a branch for one. But we can have random with the blue and the brown. And just make, you know, random tree branches. Using up this paint in our magazine playground. Too thick there, that's all right. So you can use up, you know, your paints and things. I meant if you're cataloging color books as well as other stuff. Well, it'll just be my, it won't be all my books. Good Lord, I wouldn't want to even do that myself. Just my art books is going to probably be a challenge. But okay, there comes the sun. Let's tilt it up a little. So, you know, have some random tree branches here. And I'll show you again real quick my sketchbook. So if you're joining me and you missed that part, it's Sketchbook Summer. And the idea is to fill a sketchbook up in the month of July, back and front. So now I might want to take a card and see. Take a card here, get some blue on it. Really probably be black would be better, or white, and do some tree things coming up. All I'm doing over here, guys, is just tapping the edge of the card. Maybe I'll get a little white on it too, so that some of these could be, have some white. Some brown ones. Have some crossover. So, see. Anybody have any questions or anything? Yeah, Janet will tweet out. I think she'll stream after a while. I mean, she said she usually streams at 1. It's only 11, guys? Dang. We got a lot done today. Maybe we might need to do something else. Do we need to do something else for a couple hours? I set aside Mondays for you guys. All right, so anyway, so there you go. You get the idea, right? So let's put these all on the floor to dry. And we'll save this video. But real quick, where's my sketchbook? I'll have to pick up here to make room. So this is my sketchbook for summer, Sketchbook Summer. I'll put the link in under the video where I talk about it. And I just decorated mine with SpongeBob and cartoon stickers. I just thought it would be fun, so I didn't take it too serious. Although once I start, because I take notes when I'm sketching. And again, let me show you the sketchbook. This is the Strathmore Vision Mixed Media. I had bought this one to do it in. The Sketchbook Vision, which has orange, and Sketch, and this is Mixed Media. The difference is in the Sketch, it's 50-pound paper with 110 pages. Very thin. I mean, it's like, it's textury, but it's like copy paper thin. And I thought, if I'm going to work in a sketchbook for a month and try to fill it front and back pages, it's going to have to be something I like. So even though this one only has 70 pages, it's 98 pound. And if I'm going to work in it that long, it's got to be something I'm going to like. So I went with this one. Plus it's only 70, it's 140 pages if you do front and back. So I'll show you the page that I showed earlier. And again, I'm not going to show every page I work in this until it's full. I'll probably show a random page like I'm doing now, but I'm not going to show every page I do until the end of the month, and then I'll do a flip of however much I have done, full or not. Okay, so this is what I got done so far in this one. And they do give you a prompt that you do not have to follow. You don't have to follow the prompt. I had already started drawing lemurs, and then I saw the prompt was Vikings. So I made my lemurs into Vikings. Then as I was doing it, I noticed the similarities between Vikings and samurai. So I started making a lot of notes, trying to compare the eras. When were Vikings? When were the samurai? And then I went over here and started doing some I started on this page. And then I started doing some Norse mythology and some Norse information, their compass, some information, things that are spiral. And then it led into Poseidon and Neptune. So anyway, this is where, this is my first double page spread. Now, if I try to do this much information on every page, I won't finish. However, when I'm on a roll and I'm seeing all kinds of things that go together, similarities or contrasts, or I want to compare things, or I want to write histories or anything like that, then I start filling the page up. And again, I could have just done him on one page, this on another page, but that's not filling it to me. So I'm going to try to put as much information as I can on the pages. But anyway, so that's what I've got so far on these two pages here. But so we'll see. We'll see how far I get when I fill up Da Vinci. Oh, to be Da Vinci's journals, Susan Ribbons. But so the book comes like this with this on it, and then it comes with a gray create your own cover. So that's what I just started putting stickers and stuff on it. Alright, so I'm going to stop this video, wash my hands, take a break, clean this up, and if y'all want, we'll see about doing something else. Hopefully these videos I'll upload. If y'all missed last Wednesday's show, I did a watercolor in a color book last Wednesday, and that video is still processing in YouTube, on Ustream. So it's just hung up there. That happens to us sometimes. A video just process, and you can't upload it to YouTube. It's just stuck in Ustream. I can't even download it to my computer. It's stuck in Ustream. So hopefully, you can go over there. I went over there to see if you could watch it, and you can watch it over there. But yeah, so people were asking me, where were you on Wednesday? Well, I was here, but the video wasn't. It's over on Ustream. So, all right, let me save this, guys, and we'll be right back.